Hola. Give me 1 minute. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, let me know. Um, I'm about to set up my Instagram video too because I'm gonna do Instagram and Facebook Live at the same time while I do this, just to get it all out the way at the same time, right? So it is Scorpio season. Whoop whoop. I did a lot of research, and I probably could have did more, but whatever. So it's Scorpio season. And we know Scorpio season started on October 23rd. And it's going to be going on until, let me get my papers in order because they're out of order. November 22nd, I believe. Yep. I'm everywhere. Excuse me, guys, for like 2.5 seconds. I'm everywhere. But I hope Scorpio season is going well for you. I honestly, for a little while, I wasn't even keeping up with like what was going on when. And so like on Friday was so crazy. I work in a rehab center. So Friday, everybody was just acting so crazy. Everybody was angry. Then I do my research and stuff and it's like, oh yeah, it was a full moon in Scorpio. So everybody's emotions were on 1,000 because not only is the sun in Scorpio, now the moon is in Scorpio and it's a new moon. So it's the moon of cleansing. So everybody is just, yeah. Friday. This weekend was like super great. But we know Scorpio season is all about emotions and it's the air sign. So you're going to be feeling all your feelings. It is also ruled by Mars and Pluto and all that fun stuff. So yeah, Scorpios are fearless. They rather kill themselves than be killed. They like to be in control of their destiny, complicated, independent, and creative. Scorpios find difficulty in figuring out what makes them happy. So, note to Scorpios, maybe you guys should work on finding out what makes you happy and work on revenge. Revenge is a big thing for Scorpios. They're very sensitive and jealous and do not forgive or forget. They're very loyal and goal-oriented and hard workers, competitive and great leaders, great sense of intuition and great instigators. So for those of you who have your sun in Scorpio, this is kind of like your main like ambiance about you. But still go into your natal chart and look at your other signs because where the other planets are and where those signs are located, all that stuff matters. Scorpio season is the best. Virgo season is the best. Just confused. It's okay. So yeah, that's Scorpio season in a nutshell. Well, Scorpio people in a nutshell. So the actual season, like I said before, is intense, emotionally passionate. You find yourself looking for meaning in everything. There may be secrets that come uncovered because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of secrets. You may find yourself removing yourself from a lot of people, places, and things as you are being led by intense emotions. And during this time, you kind of like in Libra season was ruled by Venus. So with it being Venus, like you were, always in love and Aries sign, da da da. Well, now in Scorpio season, that intimacy, that passion, that romance feeling, it's going to be a little bit more, well, a lot more centered, a lot more focused. So imagine all that energy that was just out here rolling around in the air sign is all coming condensed. So it's extreme emotion going to one specific thing. You're gonna find yourself cutting off a lot of people that like a lot of the connections you have, they kind of feel pointless now. I ain't gonna hold you. So like in Libra season, I wasn't even thinking about it until I started doing the research. So during Libra season, I started a page. I started a POF page. Okay. So I started a POF page because I was bored and I just want some, I'm bored. So towards once like Libra season was going away, and Scorpio season started coming, I started cutting people out of my stuff. I took POF off my phone. The couple of people that I exchanged numbers with, most of them I kind of just started deleting their numbers on my phone. I stopped texting them back. I'm terrible. But that's what happened. And then when I did my research, I was like, oh shit, it is Scorpio season. And I am bored as fuck. That's how these people get cut off. And that's why I wrote the post that I did post like a couple of days ago when I was like, I wish I could tell guys that they're boring. I wish I could tell guys I like be more honest and tell them they're boring and I have more fun by myself. But that's where I'm getting where like, you know, you're gonna find yourself doing the same thing. Like those friendships that you have that like they're kind of pointless and you know in Libra season, you were all about just going out and being social. In Virgo season, you're kind of like work, but it's still like a social side because of where some of the planets were. Now you really just like, if it has no meaning, I don't want it. That's basically the theme. So you're going to want to remain connected with things of deep emotional meaning. Anything less than you're not really going to want to be bothered with. And this is why a lot of people start to be in the house during this time. You start seeing the posts about, oh, it's recruiting season for the winter time. Like we innately do these things and we don't even realize like, yo, you're in line with the planets and the seasons. You know that, right? With these posts and stuff y'all doing and you're not even paying attention to it. All right, cool, whatever. So you may find yourself craving intense, intimate connections, passionate, intimate interactions. And this is season of cleaning. So it's basically in a nutshell the season of Phoenix. I ran across this really cool Kabbalah website that kind of like talks about astrology from like a Hebrew point of view. And I'm going to read you the excerpt for Scorpio. So, the astrological moon of Scorpio, or as it is called in Hebrew, Mar Cheshvan. I'm probably mispronouncing it. Is the left column water sign and is ruled by the planet Mars and Pluto. The Book of Formation speaks of 7 planets in our solar system. In the last century, these planets were revealed as a result. Pluto has been found to bear influence on the sign of Scorpio. All water signs are emotional, but scorpions are particularly irrational when it comes to their emotions. They go to extremes, both in positive and in negative aspects. There is only black and white in the world of Scorpio, no gray areas. And if you are their friend, then you are by default. If you are not their friend, then you are by default their enemy, and you will most definitely be treated that way. That's how my sister is acting right now about all of us going to this birthday party on Saturday. As a left column of the water sign, Scorpios have a tremendous desire for power and control and seek these measures at any cost. They do not waver, they do not falter, and they stay their course with total determination and strength, which could sometimes result in unnecessary force and violence. Mars, which rules the month of Scorpio, is the planet and Greek god of war, which makes all Scorpios warriors who have the drive to eliminate their enemy no matter what toll it takes on anyone else. Pluto rules life and death, as well as power and energy or the sea, which at best manifests itself as a new life. It also gives Scorpios deep sexual desires that are rooted in the compulsion to propagate the human race. In their efforts to be fruitful, multiply, Scorpios can go as far as to damage their reproductive and sexual organs, leading to impotency, infertility, and cancer. Scorpio is a fixed sign, which means that they do not like change and want to harness a total control over their lives and the lives of those around them. Their greatest fear is to lose control. In the Scorpio world of extremes, love is everything. If they feel their love is not reciprocated, this love can turn into hate. It is very difficult for Scorpios to forgive and forget. The typical Scorpio will not rest until he has his revenge on the friend that betrayed him and let him down. My Pluto was in Scorpio on my natal chart. I think that's the only thing I have in Scorpio on my natal chart. So yeah, that's definitely like something I can resonate with. If you do something to me, I don't forgive and forget. I might forgive, but I don't fucking forget. And a part of me do be wanting to seek revenge. Anyway, so the month is formally known as bitter. However, it can be transformed into Ram. Our job throughout this month is to transform that which is bitter into sweet, that which is lowly into lofty. It takes a strong consciousness and self-control to achieve this transformation. It is not easy to make the dark forces completely white. Scorpions are very good business people. They like money because it gives them control and power. They're very good politicians, doctors, physiologists, astrologers, and financiers. They have very powerful metaphysical ability and intuition, very strong mystical and spiritual powers. That comes from being ruled by the planet Pluto, by the way. If a Scorpio chooses the wrong path, they can be the most lethal and ruthless members of the mafia. That's because of Mars. The Great Flood took place in the month of Cheshvan, which is the Hebrew month that Scorpio was originally in. Noah's generation was very corrupt, and God saw no other way but to destroy it completely with flood. Only Noah, his family, and a pair of all of Earth's creatures remained alive because of the protection provided by the ark. This season tends to be a cumbersome month of negative energy. It is one of the only months lacking holidays, which can make it a good time to focus on the patterns in which we have fallen, the ill feelings we harbor, and the grudges we still bear. If we overcome the natural tendencies towards revenge, towards taking law into our own hands, towards giving people what they deserve, and stick to revealing more to light in the world, we can hope to survive this tenuous month. The war against darkness is not fought with guns and artillery, but with lighting as many candles as possible. The more light we bring to the world, the more darkness we eradicate. For darkness cannot exist where there is light. So that's a good one. So, all that to say, during this time, focus, like, in, this thing in a nutshell, just focus on not going for revenge. Maybe revenge is not the answer. Maybe turning the other cheek, maybe being the nice person in the situation. Maybe just choosing to cut them off because Scorpio season is time for the chop chop anyway. This is the season of rebirth. And oddly, at my job, a handful of people died last week, starting Scorpio season off. So, yes, I don't know, how many people are passing away in your reality, but this is the season where it's happening because this is the season of regeneration, and not just you as an individual, but you as a whole. Like, you might die. Sorry. Anyway, so this is a fixed sign, which is stubborn and stuck in their ways. The stones to have under the Scorpio season is agate, which is a stone for strength, protection, from bad dreams, stress, and energy strains and stomach upsets. I hate the street I live on. I swear to God, it's like the noisiest street in all the lands. Anyway, Amazonite balances feminine and masculine energies, promotes kindness and practicality, excellent for artists and men, helps balance emotions and physical stamina. Fluorite, which relieves symptoms of kidney disease, ulcers, respiratory tracts, as well as stimulating cell regeneration, helps with bones, arthritis. You can in olden times, they would crush the fluorite and put it in the water and you would drink it. And that's what would help with you internally, with helping with your joints and stuff like that. And then you can also crush it up still and put it inside of like a shea butter or something and put it topically on where it hurts and stuff. And that's supposed to help too. It neutralizes negative vibes, helps in decision making, makes one more receptive of vibes of other stones. Garnet is another stone in the season. If you guys remember from my previous videos, garnet is the stone that's associated with Pluto, and that's why it's one of the stones of the season. This stone is a stone of manifestation, sensuality, desire, self-confidence, enjoyment without guilt. Hematite, one of my favorites. It brings peace to Scorpios and removes negative and judgmental thoughts. Other stones to look out for: jade, moonstone, obsidian, opal, peridot, turquoise, unakite, ruby, rose quartz, aquamarine, and rhodochrosite. In a nutshell, you want to focus on your green stones, which are, trigger your heart chakra. Your red stones, which trigger passion, love, romance, things like that. Your obsidian stones, which are black. Not obsidian stones, but just black stones in general. Those are protection, grounding. So yeah, you want to focus on those kind of stones during the season, just in a nutshell. Moving forward, just moving right on through this. So I have just going a little bit more in depth with the Scorpio season. Like I said, it's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto rules over secrets, death, mysteriousness, rebirth. It governs power itself, including power struggles between people and governments, discovery, shadows, and the stone for Pluto is garnet as well as obsidian. Be mindful, look on your natal chart, see where Pluto is when you were born, and look at Pluto now, where Pluto is going to be now. And I'll get into that in a minute because we are going to talk about the planetary positions right now for the month. But anyway, so you want to look at where Pluto is on your chart, and you want to look at where Pluto is now. And what you do is you say, okay, so Pluto is here now, and Pluto was here when I was born, so this is how it coincides with me. This is how it will clash with me, or this is how it will complement me. And that's how you make that work. And when I talk about the planetary alignments, right now, we'll get deeper into that so you can grasp it a little bit better. Just give me a moment. So yeah, Pluto. Pluto is ruled by Oya. That's the Orisha of Pluto. This is the storm goddess of Yoruba. She is the hurricanes that form on the coast of West Africa, traveling across the Atlantic Ocean. She is also the tornadoes and twisters that pull up the trees from their roots. She carries the souls to the spirit world and dominates the marketplace. This is the one to invoke when you want to talk about women's rights. Gender equality, things like that. Oya is the Orisha you want to talk to, and she is the one to talk to during the season because this is her season. Also, that's it for Pluto. Going into Mars, which also rules over Scorpio season. Scorpios are so selfish. They got 2 planets and shit. Mars is the planet of protection, strength, courage, sexual energy, healing, initiative, motivation, bloods. And the stones for the season are bloodstone, flint, garnet, iron, pyrite, red jasper, and ruby. So basically still dealing with like the red stones with red in them. Dragon's blood is the plant that's associated with Mars, and this is an antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, which is awesome because now we're starting to get into flu season. So for those of you who know better and don't get those dumbass flu shots, sorry, that's my personal opinion. Nix that from the video. But for those who don't want to do that, this is the perfect plant to get instead. Put it in your house, put it in your diffuser, make oils with it, whatever you want to do. It also helps with wounds as a topical. It also helps with acne, eczema, and psoriasis. This plant is a symbolism of power, protection, healing, and enhancing your spiritual power, which is especially helpful because Pluto is the planet of spiritualism. Pine is also another plant for this season. Pine loosens up the phlegm and the mucus. Another thing you can put inside of a diffuser or oil burner, whatever it is that you want to do. It is also antibacterial, it's also a diuretic, and it's also antiseptic. So these 2 are really good plants for the season, Scorpio season, and also autumn, and also flu season. So all the seasons is being addressed right now. This is an uplifting, energizing plant, and it helps with focusing. Scorpio season is also ruled by the 8th house. The 8th house rules birth, death, sex, transformation, mysteries, and intense bonds. And it also rules ownership of wealth and power. The 8th house, I started playing around with the number 8, especially like the more books I read, and Metu Netter definitely left its mark on me. But when you play around with the number 8, you have the 8th stage of manifestation, which focuses on differences between things. And this is where species and classifications are introduced when you're talking about just beings, physical beings on this earth in general. The main architect of man's social ills comes at the 8th sphere on the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life, in regards to the initiation system, is ruled by Sebek, which is the god and one of the gods or ancestors or spiritual powers in Metu Netter. And this is the ruler of information, classifications. We know the words, but lack the experience behind the words, and actions may contradict claims. So be mindful of your actions contradicting claims. And some of the examples is saying you want to lose weight, but you keep eating poorly. Saying you want to be healthy, but you're not doing the things you're supposed to do. What crazy? Sorry. You're like, you say you want to quit smoking, but you keep lighting cigarettes. Make sure your actions are matching up with your claims during the season. It's definitely something to look out for, especially if you want to initiate certain things to end your year with, because the season after this is the beginning of the end of the year. You got 2 more seasons left, not even a season and a half, and then we start the second part of that season, a new year. Which we'll talk about that when we get to Capricorn season, because the new year in the middle of the winter makes absolutely no sense. And for those of you who are really into your culture historically, you will know that spring is actually supposed to be the new year, but it is what it is. Some people like the cold because they're from the cold, so they make the cold the new year. That's my inside joke for today. It's my racist joke for today. Oh, and anyway, so the 10 stages of initiation, when you reach stage 8, you have the coup division, and that is when the initiate becomes a sage. We're dealing with spiritualism again. On sphere 8, during the stage of initiation, you're dealing with Sebek once again. And emotions are states of mediumistic trance, akin to dreaming or death. During this stage, one becomes resistant to emotions, cravings, and temptations. So if you are in the 8th stage or 8th sphere of manifestation or initiation, you have mastered the ability to remove yourself from your emotions and to control your emotions to the point where you can elevate your own emotions and create your own mediumistic trance, and no longer allow outside sources, especially the media nowadays, to control your trance. Because if you guys notice, a lot of things on TV, a lot of things on the internet, and stuff, movies and stuff, they pull at your emotional strings, because that's the point. If I make your emotion go extreme enough, you're not thinking logically anymore. You're going with your emotion. So, like, okay, example, you get so angry. When I watch slave movies, I get pissed. I'm fucking pissed. So when I watch them, it's like I'm not thinking about my actions no more. When I go out into the world, I'm just angry. And that is the goal for a lot of these people that produce like media art or whatever, is to pull out your emotions and get you into this trance so they can get you to act or react how they want you to do. So during this season, be mindful, especially during this election stuff in November. And you got your small town elections, like the municipal elections and stuff like that. Be mindful of the different I guess propaganda or persuasion techniques, and realize that those are to pull at your emotions and get you to act or react and put you in a trance, or I'm so sad that I feel like that I'm going to do this. I'm so angry I'm going to do this. I feel so helpless that I'm going to do this. Be mindful of that during the season. I know suicide is definitely a thing in my family, and it usually happens around this time of year, and it is a big thing in this time of year overall globally, especially when you get closer to Thanksgiving time. Just be mindful of that mediumistic trance. Definitely control those heightened emotions, especially during Scorpio season, where it's already happening by default. Anyway, moving forward. So the colors associated. Oh, going back to Mars. Mars in manifestation in regards to the Orishas is Ogon, which is the lord of the metals, specifically iron, minerals, tools, war, hunting, wild beasts, accidents. Ogon is also associated with blood and heals illnesses of the blood. So if you have, some type of infection or whatever in your blood, this is the one to talk to. His weapon is a machete, and his weapons are made with iron. Oxasi is associated with Mars, while Ogon is the manifestation. Oxasi is associated with jail, justice, persecution. He is a hunter and shaman, and known as the one who works with witchcraft, connected with hunter communities, and he's an ally of nature spirits in the forest. Mars is also associated with Tuesday. So Tuesday is the best day of the week to invoke these Orishas. This is also the best day of the week to do any type of invocation, initiation, manifestation during the season for what you want. Tuesday is associated with protection, strength, courage, sexual energy, healing, initiative, motivation, blood. And the stones for this is, again, repeating, bloodstone, garnet, iron, pyrite, rhodochrosite, rhodonite, dragon's blood, and pine. So you see how there's like a repetition in all of these cycles because they are all one. Um, Aries is also associated with Mars, which is the god of war, agriculture, and protection. The colors that is associated with this season are black. Black is the color of gravity, wisdom, mourning, elegance, security, detachment, seclusion, rest, introversion, journey, soul reception, grounding, protection. It's associated with the planet Saturn, which is the planet of discipline and order and justice and things of that nature. And it's also associated with the number 8 and balance. And 8 is the number of balance, power, justice, and authority. The other color associated with Scorpio season is red. Because, like I told you before, the different stones to get black, red, and green, because green is associated with your heart chakra. Red is the color of passion, royalty, power, leadership, war, vengeance, and the number 9, which is the number of endings, compassion, and power. And it's also associated with Mars, physical energy, stamina, sexuality, activity, and survival. And then various combinations of black and red are also colors for the season, like burgundy, wine, maroon, things of that nature. You also want to focus on your root chakra during this season, because while we are dealing with our emotions and passion and everything, we're also dealing with our root chakra because we're dealing with Mars and Pluto. The root chakra stimulates life force, energy, vitality, sexuality, digestive disorders, and facilitates a connection with nature, reproductive glands, and grounding. It's also associated with earth elements and resting place of life force. Dandelion root tea, which is a really good like antibacterial, antifungal, that's good for this season as well. Also, ashwagandha. I know I'm mispronouncing. I don't even know how to read this, but that tea is great too. Sage. It's good for cleansing your space, which we're, referring to Pluto and spirituality and cleansing and rebirth and regeneration. So sage is a good time for the season. Ginger is definitely keep ginger in the crib during the season. Make some ginger tea. Uh, Elder are also really good. I want to say that elderflowers are associated with the elderberries, and if you buy cough syrup, especially like the super organic one that has like all the like flowers and stuff used inside of it, it's mostly like elderberry syrup. So yeah, all these things are like the beautiful makings of natural cough syrup. Um, this is a water sign. Scorpio season is water, and water deals with sensuality, sensitivity, artistic, creative, and intuitive, also attraction, romance, and culture. Scorpio season is also associated with the death card when we talk about tarot cards. And the death card is not a bad card at all. It's also a symbolism of new beginnings, a new outlook, regeneration, and rebirth. Um, Scorpio season is also associated with the cup suit in the tarot. When you deal with the suit cups, the suit of cups, the cups of suit. I don't know how to say it. But the King of Cups is a particular card with this sign, and that is a person of great social skills. The number 0 is associated with Scorpio season, which is the number of power, going back to Pluto being the planet of power, Aries being a warrior. It's also the number of absolution, eternity, universal, infinite. It's a circle. And then when you get back into Metunetter and we talk about sphere zero is the sphere of source, infinite potential, explicit oneness, and freedom. This is the faculty of man's spirit, the absent of conditionings, limitations, and energy cannot be created or destroyed in this space. So that is Scorpio season in a nutshell. Now I want to get into it with you about where the planets are and things of that nature. Let me get my life together again. So, October 23rd, the day that we started Scorpio season, it was a waning crescent moon in Virgo. If you want to, just reflect on the week that passed, like last week that passed, let's reflect on and talk about the planets during that time. The waning crescent moon was in Virgo. And, Virgo is the sign of productivity. And it's basically like the best sign out of all of them. Waning crescent moon is the moon of cleansing and going inward and reflecting. So during that time, you may find yourself reflecting on what you have been producing, what you may have been working on, different projects you may have had open, things of that nature. And you may have found yourself letting go with some projects that you were really holding on to, but now you realize maybe this wasn't the project for me, maybe this not the job for me. Things like that. The October 28th, which is Friday, remember I was telling you guys about everybody's heightened emotions, the new moon was in Scorpio. So that is the moon of beginnings and rebirth under the sign of rebirth. So you may have found yourself cutting off way more people this weekend than what you would have done normally, amongst many other things. You may have found yourself maybe doing something different to yourself, doing your hair different, buying a new outfit, maybe had like a new attitude, maybe woke up feeling different, maybe positive, maybe negative. But this weekend was definitely the weekend of rebirth and regeneration. Like something significant definitely happened to you over the weekend. Definitely be mindful of your secrets that you hold during the season, because they will come to light, because Pluto is the ruler of secrets. Scorpio is the ruler of secrets. A lot of planets are entering this. The moon has entered it. The moon is currently in Sagittarius right now. And Sagittarius is the kind of like universal love planet. Like, Scorpio season is kind of like focused love, like I love you. But Sagittarius season is like I love everyone. So with the moon and Sagittarius season and the sun in Scorpio, kind of have like a nice like combo of both right now. And then I think if not tomorrow, then Friday, the moon will be in Capricorn. So Capricorn season is all about discipline and order and things of that nature. So you may find yourself going inward and finding some new order for yourself. So a new routine for yourself, add something to your routine, take something away from your routine that's not working for you, things like that. November 12th will be the full moon. It is the Beaver moon, and it will be in Taurus. It is also known as the frost moon or the morning moon. It depends on what the weather is. When I say morning, I mean MOURNING. That word is why I'm out of the habit of saying good morning to people, especially at work, because everybody says good morning. I'll be like, hey, hola, how you doing? I don't say good morning because there's nothing good about morning. And it also like if you don't think about it, but if you do reflect and think about it, it does make you dread the actual like waking hour, because you're calling it morning. You don't even think about it, but you're like cursing your day before it even begins. And then you're breaking your fast and calling it breakfast, breaking your fast first thing in the day. You're dreading your day. You're spending those waking hours where you're supposed to be like reflecting on yourself and doing things in nature and stuff like that. You're spending it inside of a building. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I can go on forever, but I'm not. Anyway, so November 12th, full moon. It's called the Beaver moon because, in the olden days, it was the time to set traps before the swamps froze, and so that the hunters could catch the beavers and make their fur coats before the wintertime. During this time, it's time to finalize projects, take a last revision of your work before submitting it. It's a time to cleanse and recharge. Venus, it rules Taurus, obvious, so this is a sign where you may feel like the utmost sensitivity. Your emotions may come to the forefront during this already emotional season because we're dealing with Scorpio. Now we're dealing with Taurus and Scorpio. Be mindful not to be fixed or stubborn with things that no longer serve you during this fixed sign and this earth moon. Do not be stubborn with things that don't serve you, and your emotions may slow down during the Taurus moon. Mm, yeah, so that's happening during the Taurus moon. As far as the planets go, Mercury has been in Scorpio, which is the Pluto house, since October 3rd, and it will be in Scorpio until December 9th. So the desire to uncover truths are rising. Mercury is in control of communication, so you may find yourself communicating these truths. You may find yourself communicating these mysteriousnesses about you, or finding yourself communicating with someone else because you find their mysteriousness intriguing. You may be more witty, perceptive, resourceful, positive, inventive, and straight to the point. Just be mindful not to be insensitive or offensive while you're, uncovering secrets and things like that. Mercury will be in retrograde from October 31st. So tomorrow, Mercury starts retrograde till November 20th. This is a time to plan and prepare for events after the 20th. Don't do anything during this time because miscommunications are always happening during retrogrades. And that's any level of communication: texting, typing, talking, vlogging, all that stuff. It's not good to do it during retrograde. I personally flourish during Mercury retrogrades. I am ruled by Mercury. I don't know if they go hand in hand. I have a lot of planets that are in Mercury on my natal chart. So, like, Mercury retrograde, like, fucking bring it. I'm here for it. Anyway, so yeah, it would be in conjunct with Venus. So Venus makes it a little bit more easier than than another, Mercury retrograde we would have had, in a different space. So during this time, because it is in conjunct with Venus, you may find yourself professing your love to someone. You may find yourself communicating some type of love to someone. Mars is in Libra since October 4th and it will be in Libra until November 19th. We know that Libra is the Venus house. You will assert yourself in a courteous, coordinated, balanced manner because we know Libra is the sign of balance. This is also a good time to be social because we know Libra is the Aries social sign. 11/19 is when Mars enters Scorpio, and you may be less inclined to avoid important issues. So we're starting to, again, uncover some truth, uncover some secrets. Be mindful what you say. Mediocrity is not going to be satisfying, so you're still going to be cutting people off. Venus in Scorpio right now from October 8th to November 1st. Relationships will be intense emotionally. One will feel drawn to figure out what attracts or repels one to the people around them, the people around you. Your circle may form from people intrigued with your mysteriousness or some level of studies or occult interest. Again, we're coming back to that. Any issues in early September or October may arrive. So whatever you were ignoring from Virgo and early Libra season, it's probably going to come back up. Venus in Sagittarius is from November 1st to November 25th. And romantic energy goes from intense to buoyant. So again, like I said, like how in Scorpio season your love is like I love you, but in Sagittarius it's like I love everyone. So Venus will be in Sagittarius, so now we're about to be loving everybody. And romantic adventures and blunt approaches to love are happening. Just be mindful, don't be insensitive, and don't clog people in the head with a bat and drag them into your cave. Jupiter is still in Sagittarius, as it will be for a very long time because it takes forever for these planets to go anywhere. But Jupiter rules law, faith, business. It rules prosperity. While it's in Sagittarius season, there is a need to perfect these aspects. Maybe reflect on them with goals of traveling, finding a new career. Just be mindful not to be too harsh on yourself. Sagittarians can cause one to be too hard on themselves. Saturn is still in Capricorn. Um, it brings structure and meaning, complements to Jupiter. It reminds us of boundaries and the need for self control, reveals fears and responsibilities, and that's about it. And Uranus is in Taurus, and it's also in retrograde right now. So Uranus focuses on changing, letting things go, and removal, and it brings an urge of transformation while in retrograde. The place of change is more manageable because when Uranus is just going forward, it's very strong. Like you have like, oh no, you gonna change now. But while it's in retrograde, it's a little bit softer on you, like, you can change, you can do it, you gonna do it. I believe in you. So this is the time to give up something one may have been fixated on or being stubborn about letting go. Fun fact, Uranus spends 40% of its cycle, which is 7 years long, in retrograde. Neptune is still in Pisces, and it will be going in retrograde on November 27th. So, while Neptune, where's my paper for Neptune? Intermission. Oh, on the other side. So Neptune is in Pisces, and it's in retrograde till November 27th. And it is associated with intuition and spiritual enlightenment. Mercury, compassion. Oh no, mercy. I didn't mean to say Mercury. It's mercy. Compassion. The negative side can include trickery or deceit, because Pisces people, they kind of fall in love with illusion or imagination, and it kind of can turn into some level of deception. Guilt and addiction. Pisces are people pleasers. They go outward and they're very emotional. During this time, it's time to go inward and stop waiting for problems to solve themselves and be more proactive and slow to fall in love. While Neptune is in retrograde, illusions are wiped away, which may lead to painful realities. In regular motion, they create illusions. So right now you're seeing all the painful realities, and then starting November 27th, while everybody's, enjoying their Thanksgiving turkey, the illusions are returning. You like all these people again. The universal love comes into Sagittarius season and the illusions are returning. Isn't that fun? Then you get to pretend like you're happy with your life during Christmas and New Year's, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Right. Anyway, so that's what's happening with Neptune. Pluto is in Capricorn still. And while Pluto's not in retrograde no more, right? No. Pluto stopped being in retrograde on October 3rd. So we are being pushed to destroy what's blocking our growth with the law and order of the Capricorn field. Desires will be reawakened. Expect changes in one's traditions, hierarchies of power in ancient Earth, which we are doing. We are breaking a lot of we're breaking a lot of childhood traumas. We're breaking a lot of traditions. We're breaking a lot of things. I'm very proud of this generation because we're definitely doing that. Thanks, Pluto. Our nodes are in Cancer and Capricorn. They always seem like they're going in retrograde, but think about the Earth in the middle and the North Node and the South Node, and there's like a squiggly line. It looks like a yin yang when you actually look at it. But the nodes kind of like, so I want to get it right because I think the North Node is like your karma to come, and your South Node is like the karma you missed. And we're not just talking about like bad karma. When we say karma, we're talking about good stuff too, like opportunities and things like that. So, yeah. So until May 5th, 2020, associated with past lives and karma, where the moon's orbit crosses the sun, where the moon's orbit crosses the path that the sun makes around the Earth. They create eclipses. We have two eclipses, which regulate our collective and individual karmas. The North Node is the future karma with possibility of alterations, and right now that's in Cancer. So cancers are our crabs and they're always in their shell. So going inward, you want to build a stronger inner foundation. On the outward side of things, which is our South Node, which deals with our past karma of missed experiences, you may have been fighting to fit in, status gain or goals. You may have missed some goals. You may have been, doing the most to achieve some goals. You may have had some blinders on, or, tunnel vision with some goals. You just want to reflect on some things that you may have been trying to do to fit in or to reach some things in the past, and try to correct where you went wrong. Just reflect on the things that you've done. What else? Lilith. I like Lilith. That's the first wife of Adam before Eve came along, but she was too sexually liberal, so they had to get rid of her ass. She had to get out of the Garden of Eden. Another mythology story is that Lilith was Satan or Lucifer's companion. Another story, well, not a story, but like a symbolism that Lilith brings is the deepest, darkest desires or actions. Lilith uncovers what pushes your buttons or turns you on, or how you will react when you're ready to fuck somebody up or fuck somebody. So Lilith is in Pisces. So we have the illusions, deception, things like that. You may find yourself being a hopeless romantic, living in la la land kind of. As far as like, your negative aspects, as far as like darkest desires or darkest actions go under this. You may find yourself being like verbally like a deceiver, manipulator, kind of an escapist. You're creating illusions for people around you. You may have like a sharp, witty tongue when you are angry. You might find yourself snapping on people verbally. So just, be mindful of those things. Control it how you want to control it. It's just, an introduction to that energy to be mindful of. Chiron, which is a symbolism of an unhealed portion of your psyche. So um, right now it's in Aries, and it's in Aries until 2027. And while this planet is in Aries, we find ourselves dealing with an unhealed portion of our psyche around war, justice, review of self-destructive or stagnant actions, which we do find ourselves doing now. We have different races come, speaking up. That you have women speaking up, and they're dismantling a lot of things that held them back or were unfair, and and a lot of things that were never healed among people, especially like in America. The racial tension in America, like, we have to come, while this planet is in Aries, we have to realize that fighting fire with fire just makes more fire. And while it may seem like the solution, all it does is make another person dominant and another person plotting to be dominant. We see it far too many times. There has to be a better way. And sometimes I'll talk shit and be like, no, it's not a better way. We need to go to fuck the war. But yeah, like on some like copacetic shit, yeah, we have to find a better way. Using someone else's war tactic against them, like, what is it going to do? But help them do something that they're already good at. Figure me? So like, oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all how to relate this to your chart. I'm just going to give you an example. So my Venus is in Virgo, and the Venus right now is in Scorpio. So my Venus in Virgo, kind of like, my romantic language is verbal. I like communication. I like mental stimulation. I like, I have foreign interests. I have things of that nature. Um, so while it is in Scorpio, what that means for me is I would be communicating, but I will be communicating and intrigued with death, rebirth, regeneration, spiritualism, some type of occult type thing. Like, that's what's drawing me right now, because I love communication. And my Virgo is also in the Leo house, so I'm strong with that shit. I have a lot of stuff in Leo house. I'm a Leo ascendant. I'm just everything. So I just wanted to show you guys some jewelry because I do have jewelry for the Leo season and I did want to show it to you. If you guys want anything, please inbox me because I'll give it to you. I won't give it to you, but I'll sell it to you. And my stuff is still kind of in the plastic. So let me put this stuff up. I have them in packages because I do events and stuff. So probably give myself like another 10 minutes, introduce this jewelry, and then I'm out, okay? So I still gotta like, I want to get dressed up for Halloween tomorrow. Still want to paint my nails and shit. Ouch. So I have rose quartz earrings. Rose quartz earrings. I'm showing two different cameras at the same time. They're like hexagon shaped and they're stud earrings. I have hair jewelry. That's like lock jewelry. And this is rose quartz and clear quartz, and it's also hematite. And I like these. I have one in my hair already, but really just like wrap it around your lock any way you want. Sometimes like I'll make my hair into a bun and I'll just wrap it around my bun. Not this, I have my own, but you know, little piece of hair. So what else do I have? I have another one, and this is tourmaline quartz and rose quartz and clear quartz at the end. This is also mixed crystals, but it also has hematite and clear quartz in it. This has obsidian, rose quartz, and amethyst in it. This has agate, and it's a red agate at that, so cool. These are fluorite earrings. They're stud earrings. This is unikite. It's a pin you put on your shirt. This is green aventurine. Also good for emotions and things like that. This is garnet and blue tiger's eye, but you definitely want the garnet for Scorpio and Pluto. That's the stone for Pluto. That is the stone of passion and romance and sexuality and sensuality and all that fun stuff. This is garnet and obsidian. This is also another pin for your shirt. I love these. I wear these all the time. If you go on my Instagram page at Sunshine Monet, I wear them all the time on my shirts. I always match my stuff. Today I wore blue because it's Wednesday, and Wednesday is associated with Mercury, and Mercury is associated with communication, and communication is associated with the throat chakra, and throat chakra is blue. So I had a blue pin on today. This is fluorite. This is also another pin, and I tried to make stuff for, you know, guys, so they can wear, guys can wear pins. You can have like a nice sweater or cardigan on. It's cold outside, and just put a pin on it, or a nice plain hoodie or sweatshirt. Put a pin on it. That's what I do. This one is garnet. I definitely have a picture with this one. I love this drawing. It's like a stripe of garnet going right across. I love that. It's so pretty. What else should I get? I have necklaces. This is a garnet. I made the beads. It's obsidian and garnet. They're organite beads. This is tiger's eye and obsidian, and it's Africa pendant necklace. And it's pretty long. It's like a nice length. It's like down here. It's a nice one. And the string is stretchy, and the string is really good. I've had the same waist beads on since like June, and they're not stretched out or nothing, and it's the same string. It's really good string. I have to remember where I ordered that shit from. This is onyx and obsidian, amethyst, and rose quartz. It's another necklace. This is obsidian, amethyst, and tiger's eye looks like, and this is like a bigger bead, bigger wood beads, bigger organite beads. This is like mixed crystals, but it does have garnet and obsidian in it, and it's on a gold chain. I wore this today. I have smaller necklaces for my smaller people. And there's subtle jewelry. Well, this is not really subtle. I'm not a subtle person. I don't make subtle shit. This has tiger's eye, garnet, and obsidian in it, and it's a ankh necklace. I also have an obsidian ankh necklace. This ankh is like a little bit bigger. The necklace is a lot longer. I have rose quartz, the heart, rose quartz heart. And I have like better pictures. I know my videos aren't, that clear, but like I have photos. They're on the website, Let's Nobody's Collection.me. They're on Instagram at Let's Nobody's _collection. They're also on my personal Instagram page. This is Rose Quartz, which is at Sunshine Monet, Monie. That's how you spell it, but it's pronounced Monet. That's my middle name. And also on my personal Facebook page, which is Sunshine Monet. So you can find like clearer pictures of these. This is tiger's eye, garnet, and obsidian. This is amethyst and garnet and obsidian. And another ankh, smaller ankh. And these are rose quartz. You got one long oval and a heart. And I have 2 heart rose quartz. So like if you want like a best friend necklace, because we're entering Sagittarius universal love and love everybody and shit, or you want a his and her rose quartz, because why not? Because you want to love an individual person, and y'all both healers. I don't really care for the word witch. The more I learn about my culture and the history of my culture and stuff, the less I like the European terms for what we do to heal ourselves and heal other people and stuff. I don't really care for the term witch too much. Oh, let me take this shit on my hair. And I also have bracelets. I have most of my bracelets are green right now. I have sorry. The tags are all whatever. But this is green aventurine and moss agate. Again, green dealing with your heart chakra, your feelings and emotions, which is good during this emotional season. I have gold hematite. It's coming back to that Pluto stone, and green aventurine, which is, like I said before, is dealing with your heart chakra and your emotions and things like that during this emotional season. This is hematite, obsidian, amazonite, and rose quartz. This is perfect. This is perfect for this season. Definitely perfect. Like this was literally made for it. And I feel like I made that months ago. Rose quartz and green aventurine, another one perfect for this season. These all actually are, and I made these months ago. This one is matte onyx, garnet, and obsidian organite beads. So those gold beads, those are actually organite beads that I did make myself, and they have garnet and obsidian in them. And then you have the onyx beads on top. I really like this one too. This is green aventurine and moss agate. It's good for emotions. This one is African turquoise, tourmaline quartz, and green aventurine. Again, like I said before, I have photos. You can, check out my Instagram pages. I definitely have photos. I also have tabletop or paperweights, whatever you want to call them. This one is green aventurine, and it's also obsidian, and it has copper in it. And that is a pyramid, and it's a nice little paperweight. This one is tiger's eye, amethyst, and rose quartz. Tiger's eyes on top, and then the amethyst and rose quartz is on the bottom, underneath the sticker. This is another one. It's like a round kind of. You could put your cup on top of it if you wanted to, but it is rhodochrosite, garnet, and obsidian and rose quartz. I think this is so pretty, and you can kind of see through it, so it looks cool. I have amethyst, rose quartz, and obsidian. I have garnet, amethyst, and obsidian, another pyramid. I like my pyramids and my spheres. They make me happy. I have like some that I made for myself all over the place. I love them. I also have rings. Of course I have rings because I wear like 20 rings on every finger. I can't help myself. I go to work and I be having like hella rings on. No cares given. So these are mixed crystals, but they do have retrograde and obsidian on them. This is garnet and rose quartz. This is a mixed stone, but it also has obsidian garnet in it. And this one, like this ring, I would wear on this finger like this with a bunch of other rings. And this ring, I would wear like in the middle like this. This one I kind of like wear on any finger. Like if I had that, I wear it like that. I'm almost done, guys. 2 more minutes. I have rose quartz, amethyst, and obsidian. Obsidian and green aventurine. A straight green aventurine stone. And this is how I will go to work. Just like this. All the rings. Alright. They're about to cut me off, y'all. Sorry. But you guys can definitely, well, Instagram's about to cut me off because I'm recording on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. But you definitely can find me on Facebook, Sunshine Monet, if you want to finish the video. But I'm almost done anyway. Not really missing much. But this is mixed stones, but it has citrine, garnet, obsidian, and rose quartz in it. This is just obsidian. This one is tiger's eye and obsidian. And my last 3 set for the season, I have way more, but I'm just going to show you the ones that's for the season. This one is my rose quartz ring. I'm slowly perfecting the stability of this one, but I'm to the point where now I can kind of give it out. But this is my not amethyst, garnet, obsidian, and tiger's eye ring. I really like this one. And this is my obsidian ring. I really like this one too. I really like this one a lot. This is a nice like by myself kind of piece, and I would put like little like the smaller rings like around. But yeah, I really like this one a lot. And it's just black, like protection, punching in the face. But anyway, that's all I wanted. Have fun during Scorpio season. If you want to talk to me one-on-one and ask me about your chart and what this season means for your chart, like hit me up. I don't charge for that. I think that's greed, and that's not me. I make my money off my jewelry. I make my money off my books and stuff like that. Everything doesn't have to be a money maker. I'm not going to do that. And I'm slowly getting out of the habit of expecting money for my jewelry too. I'm just going to make jewelry when I feel like it. And if y'all want it, y'all want it. And if y'all don't, I'll wear it. Fuck it. But when money is your motive, you find yourself doing the wrong things or going about it the wrong way, and you find yourself frustrated because you don't ever feel like you're getting what you should be receiving, and that's because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Stop integrating numbers with what's supposed to be spiritual. Stop putting qualitative and left brain things into stuff that's supposed to be quantitative and right brain. That's our problem. We keep trying to put the left brain shit into right brain shit, and we got to stop doing it. I see far too many people on here that's like making like spiritual jewelry or giving spiritual services, and they're charging like a ridiculous amount of money that they know their people can't afford. And I get it, you have these motivational things and they're saying, oh well, this is what I deserve. You don't go to this store and do that, you don't go to that store and do that. And this is spiritual things we're talking about, guys. This is spiritualism. Like, seriously, can we stop doing that during the Scorpio season? Can we cut that shit off? I think that's going to be my final thought for this video. I feel like I pissed off enough people. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to bed as soon as I cut this video off.